It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game,
here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a 7th-year pro and a literal rocket scientist. Here's Joshua Dobbs.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. Finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charges. This offense.
On second down, Dobbs. And his throw is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On third down, they run with Madison. It's a gain of 6, but not enough. On their first drive of the game.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Able to push his way through. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. But this guy, he is hard to corral.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. George to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. He'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. George looking to pass. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
Now George. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. That's already the 3rd time I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 56 yards. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to.
So wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity to push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Throw out wide to Walker. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice short tackle.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. How about that? Their quarterback, 43 yards. And the Seahawks will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks. Sorry, Coach. We'll catch up with you after the game. We're going to skip through halftime here and headed back to the field for the third quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Joseph now to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. This offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone. Tyler Lockett still on his feet. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 77 yards. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good. 21-7. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time. They were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a... There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. We were just saying off-air during halftime, could they mount a comeback, and how would it start? Well, it started in a hurry.
Yeah, they have to get back into the game, right? So if you're going to do that, you think to yourself, we need points right here on the opening drive. But even in their best game plan, did they expect it to be a one-play drive and put the points on the board? Probably not.
No. They got it in a big way. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass. Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games? Have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, George going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, 50. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So they tried for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it. They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you, because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out. On 1st down, Dobbs to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 1st and 10, Downs. And that is incomplete.
Credit the secondary, credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. KJ out. 47 yards. And the Vikings are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Room here to run. That is loose down the left sideline. Inside the 20. And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, 72 yards. And the Seahawks use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when those to try something from the 15 on the PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
That's caught by Addison. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Now Dobbs. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 12 yards between them and the end zone. 2nd and 10. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Game on on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover. Saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Smith down to a knee here, and that should just about do it. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it.